Journal entry number 3, October 30th, 2024. Today, after an episode of boredom, I decided to take a trip to my local drugstore for an activity that I tend to find cathartic: extreme couponing. That phrase for many may conjure some very specific imagery. Maybe someone with a large pair of scissors in one hand and a stack of newspaper inserts in the other. Or maybe someone who sets off for their weekly couponing adventure at the crack of dawn each Sunday. In reality, neither of these examples paint an accurate picture of what it looks like in my case. Not that there's anything wrong with the aforementioned descriptions, they're just inaccurate. My practice of the craft tends to be a bit more covert. This all started when I was around 12. The birth of my interest in makeup occurred around this time and provided me with the impetus to find an affordable solution to my new vice. At the time, the difference between $14 and $20 could very well be the difference between new makeup and no new makeup. I quickly learned that each store had their own policies for redeeming coupons and how you could or couldn't combine them with other coupons, store sales, and clearance items. This was also before I owned a smartphone, so digital coupons were largely off the table for me. Everything was physical, and as an introverted tween girl, painfully conspicuous when self-checkout was far less common. I studied store policies, developed strategies for best days to shop, aka when I could combine multiple coupons before they would expire, and could convince my parents to begrudgingly chauffeur me to a store they otherwise had no interest in being at. I actually even had a coupon binder at one point in an effort to feel like a true bona fide couponer. I put a pause on my couponing extracurricular after I started college when I had no access to a local drugstore, and rediscovered couponing again when I transferred to a university with public transportation. This time with access to a smartphone and the know-how to utilize digital coupons. In the spring of 2020, when school went virtual, and my once vivacious campus became a deserted ghost town, the go-to off-campus mini drugstore put virtually half their store merchandise on clearance. I was renting a room near campus with my boyfriend and had decided to stay in the area until my lease expired. Alone, apart from the store employees, I secured my loot of forgotten cosmetics for roughly 90% off the original ticket price, after combining my couponing prowess with the unusual sales. Years later now, and a year out from my college graduation, the difference between $14 and $20 is fortunately far less notable. However, I've come to find an odd sort of comfort in continuing my peculiar hobby, even if I would likely realize a better return from spending my time on a more lucrative activity, rather than building an action plan for buying a $12 mascara for 48 cents. True story, by the way. I do use all the products I buy, and have found my hobby useful for building gift baskets when the holidays roll around. And in case you were curious, my trip today resulted in the 48-cent mascara, probably a record low in my books, and coming conveniently after my previous mascara saw its final days of glory.